Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
And we're having a look at the overall army of the word bearers. And there's a very, very old tale, perhaps older than the Empire, and some records do appear to go back to the Dark Age of technology. And it's the well-known story, which you may know today as The Boy Who Cried Orc. It's about a small boy living on a colony, and he rushes into town and he says, "There's an orc coming!" And so all the guard and local planetary defence troops rush out to deal with the orc, and there's no orc there. And then the next day he comes and says, there's an orc, because he wants people to come and be his friend. And so all the space marines drop from orbit, and half the population get killed in an accidental friendly fire incident, and it turns out there's no orc. And then the next time he shouts, "Orc! Orc!" This time there is an orc invasion, no one does anything about it, the planet gets wiped out. Now, what is the moral to that story?
Never lie.
No, don't tell the same lie at the same time. You need to tell a different lie each time. Because if you keep telling the same lie, people will stop believing you.
No, because if someone said there's a Tyranny invasion, I'd go, yeah, you already said there's an orc invasion, that wasn't so.
And you'd be burnt as a witch. So, this is a problem with the Imperial Truth. The Imperial Truth is every single planet that people would arrive on, that the Empire would arrive on, they would land and they would say, we want to give you the Imperial Truth. There's no such thing as gods, there's no religion, there is only the Emperor and mankind and the truth of science. That's the Imperial Truth, it's only science. Science all the way. If you see a warp demon, it's science, right? It's a creature that lives in the warp and you just perceive it that way, right? Which is exactly what the word bearers believed. These are the word bearers. These are the primary iterator chapter of the Space Marines. It was their job to go from planet to planet in the wake of the Crusade. As the Crusade rolled over a planet and fought battles or whatever, they would arrive and say, there's only one person in charge, he's the Emperor, and there's a High Council of Terror that rule everything, and get rid of your stupid icons and your silly gods, there's only one person in charge. Now, they took it a little bit far, and they declared that the Emperor was actually a god himself, because only a god can show you the way. Only a god can be the person who can unite humanity, not a mortal man. And they also knew that the Emperor was immortal, he was a perpetual, so they kind of knew he was a actual weird alien type thing, but you know. And so they would go to their worlds, the worlds that were conquered, and they would build huge temples to the Emperor. Of course, the Emperor found out about this and was not very happy. And so he ordered the Space Wolves to take them down a peg, and Space Wolves invaded the planet. They massacred half the population, they burnt the temples, they tore everything down, and then they made the entire Legion, including their leader, kneel in front of the Emperor. So after that, when it turned out the Chaos Gods were real and Horus turned traitor, they switched their allegiance to the Chaos Gods.
That makes sense.
And that's basically the simple version of these guys.
And here's the army.
And here's the army of them. So we have pretty much everything laid out here. We have the Lord in charge of the chapter. Oh, not chapter, in charge of the company. We have a Lord of Possession, or whatever he's called. An Iterator. This guy iterates to the peasants and tells them of the word of the Chaos Gods. Then we have the Space Marines themselves. We've got 2 full squads of Space Marines. Then we've got Space Marine Bikers, an Apothecary just for fun, a Chaos Champion, because every Chaos army needs at least one decent champion, because you never know when it's going to come in handy. This is a close combat guy.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, then we've got a Sorcerer, what else we got? Dreadnought, and then supporting forces, Thunderhawk, 3 Land Raiders, one mid-period Land Raider, and then some other support vehicles. And of course we have Traitor Guard, who are these guys here. These are all the traitor humans who support the Chaos Gods. Questions?
Yeah. You know how these ones get the Imperial Guard, but they're traitors?
Yes,
Yeah?
these.
Do any other Chaos Army or Legion have that ability?
Yes.
How? Because I understand the Word Bearers having them because they're the ones that carry the word of the Emperor.
Well, the word of the Chaos Gods.
The Chaos Gods, which is why they're traitors. These guys. But they're not technically traitors because they also... Yeah. But the others just scream and stab things.
Well, no, not really. Well, yeah, can do, yeah.
Or give you plague.
You get traitor Imperials, some of whom worship different gods. So they worship Slaanesh. And so they will be Slaanesh Chaos Cultists. And then you get Khorne, and they'll be Khorne Chaos Cultists. And then you get Tzeentch. I don't know why you get Tzeentch Chaos Cultists, but apparently you can have them. And then you get Nurgle Chaos Cultists. They don't seem to get a choice. They get ill and then call upon Grandfather Nurgle to help, and they end up, well, zombies or whatever.
Yes.
So really, Chaos Cultists for Death Guard, they will basically be zombies. Your Tzeentch Cultists, well, Tzeentch, whatever, and your Slaanesh Cultists. So these guys can really do for anything.
They can't be for Khorne.
Well, we've just got them as generic Traitor Guard.
Yeah.
So, and also this army is designed to be supportive of any other army. Because these guys are Chaos Undivided, they're not aligned with any particular Chaos God. They worship the Chaos Gods. They follow the primordial truth, which is
why they don't have spikes in their armour.
Yes, but they don't have spikes in their armour. They carry the word of the primordial truth, which is the demon version of the imperial truth, which is where actually magic is the real thing and science is irrelevant. Demons have always existed because the warp's always existed. Now there was probably a time where the only thing alive in the universe was plants, in which case the warp would be a strange place.
Yeah, it would be like the Eve Garden.
Yeah, sort of floaty winds and stuff. But as soon as animals started eating each other, then the warp started to change. And as soon as you had thinking bags walking around, the Slan originally, various other ancient races, the Eldari, thank you Slaanesh, and humans. Humans are the second most populous creature in the universe. That'll be humans. The most popular creature in the universe are orcs.
Yeah, they don't allow themselves to anything. They don't think about gods.
No, and when they see a chaos demon, they see a squishy bag,
a
squishy ball with tentacles.
Because they don't have an underlying fear, really, do they?
No, they don't. They just see warp demons as demons.
I guess their only fear really is losing battle.
Yes,
that's it.
So they have no real difference. They can't really tell the difference between. Well, they probably can tell.
Yeah.
But the difference between Tzeentch demons, Khorne demons, Slaanesh demons, and the only reason they can tell is because of the way the demons fight. And that's about it. They don't see what we see. Because the demons are there for us to see them that way. They don't really look like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. Anyway, so the primordial truth is that, which is what these guys preach, which is the warp exists, and the warp demons are just as much a part of our universe as anything else. And true power, comes from the warp.
And my last question, what would be the word, because word bearers are the ones that, like they just said, preaching the chaos truth. In the Imperial Truth, which Space Marine chapter would hate the word bearers the most, and why?
Any of your Crusading chapters, really.
So like Marines, Errant, Templars,
Yeah, well, they're fighting Templars, you can see on this. That's the Templar chaps there. The Templars would probably be the one most opposed to them, because, and the Grey Knights, of course, they're against demons, but these guys aren't particularly demon heavy. They're just traitors. They use
do they even
demons.
use demons?
They do, but they don't. They recognise demons for what they are, which are warp entities.
Right. Okay.
So,
but why would any chapter want to be, with Khorne, with Slaanesh, with Nurgle? Why wouldn't every chapter just want to be like word bearers?
Nurgle didn't get a choice. The Death Guard were trapped in the warp, and they had plague because Typhus betrayed them. Typhus, the first captain, betrayed the Death Guard. The Death Guard all became very ill. Grandfather Nurgle offered them immortality.
Yeah, I mean, because I understand if you'd want to be with Tzeentch, because Tzeentch don't make you turn into weird creatures, but they trick you. It's their job to trick you.
Yes.
And tricking you is different than torturing you, pretty much like Khorne does.
It is, yes. I mean, Tzeentch, it's a tricky one, Tzeentch. Slaanesh, I think, honestly, Slaanesh are...
You're insane.
They're pointless. They're all there for the moment. I mean, in a war between the gods, Slaanesh is the first one to get stomped. Slaanesh will be gone pretty quick. It will really probably come down between Tzeentch and Nurgle. Because Khorne, well, they just fight.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll run out. Whereas Tzeentch, well, that's time eternal. And Nurgle, well, that's...
I think Tzeentch would win.
End of death.
Because Tzeentch can just stop the Nurgle from just existing. If they really wanted to.
That'd be pretty hard, though, because suffering has always been there. Tzeentch. I mean, it's not possible for someone of Tzeentch to be infected by a plague of Nurgle.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Because they don't exist. So there's no possibility of a Tzeentch worshipper turning to chaos, turning to Nurgle.
We've already looked at the skills of Thousand Suns and all them.
Yeah.
And the Nurgle's skill is lasting long and moving slow.
Been hard to kill, yeah. So Tzeentch has more benefits, I would say, on the whole. In fact, out of all the Chaos chapters, Tzeentch probably has the best benefits.
Yes, because they don't... I mean, where did the pink and blue horrors come from?
The original fantasy game, but...
Yeah, but because all the demons in the warp have to be created by someone.
They're created in people's minds, yes.
So that was created by someone's mind?
I suppose they represent, like you have a nightmare, and you think you've come out of the nightmare, and then you fall into another nightmare, and then you fall into another nightmare, which is what pink horrors are.
It's like Inception.
You kill a pink horror, and it turns into a... Yeah, it's like Inception, layer upon layer upon layer of dream.
Well, that's it from me.
And that's it. So that's the end of the video. This is the overall view of the army. It's a pretty decent army. We're quite proud of it. And you'll be seeing it in battle quite soon.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Right. So, thank you very much for watching. Over to you.
If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the word bearers. That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Goodbye.
Bye.